Usually, a person dies without air in 3 minutes, without water in 3 days, without food in 3 weeks. It's called the rule of threes, the iron law of survival. But in 1942, one man decided those laws didn't apply to him. While the world was consumed by the fires of World War II, a Chinese steward named Poon Lim set a record that still sounds like pure science fiction. He spent 133 days in the open ocean on a wooden raft no bigger than a twin bed. That's 4.5 months, longer than a university semester. He drank shark blood, hunted birds with his bare hands, and watched 3 separate rescues sail right past him into the horizon. Today, we're breaking down how a simple flashlight can replace a fishing kit, why rescuing survivors in wartime was a death sentence, and how the human brain functions when the body is technically dead. You're watching Still Here, and this is a story about never giving up when the entire world is stacked against you. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's dive in. November 42, the South Atlantic, the British merchant ship SS Ben Lomond is steaming from Cape Town to South America. On board is Poon Lim. He's not a hero, not a commando, just a second steward serving meals. In those years, the Atlantic wasn't a place for travel. It was the hunting grounds for Hitler's gray wolves. What was a German U-boat like back then? It was a cramped, foul-smelling steel coffin. Crews went weeks without washing to save fresh water, and the stench of diesel soaked into their very food. But they possessed a terrifying weapon, acoustic stealth and G7E torpedoes. One such torpedo slammed into the hull of the Ben Lomond. The ship snapped like a dry twig. Poon had exactly 2 minutes before the vessel vanished into the depths. In 2 minutes, you barely have time to tie your shoes. Poon managed to grab a life jacket and leap into the icy water. All 54 other crew members perished almost instantly. Poon surfaced, and then he saw it, a life raft. But don't expect high-tech solutions here. A 1940s raft was nothing more than a wooden crate bolted to steel barrels. No roof, no navigation. Compare that to modern rafts, bright, inflatable, equipped with desalinators, flare guns, and even survival fishing kits. Poon's raft was empty by modern standards. He had only a tin of biscuits, a bit of chocolate, and 40 liters of water. 40 liters. In the tropics, a person can lose a liter of water an hour just through sweat. This supply should have lasted 2 weeks. Poon stretched it to a month, and then the water ran out. When you run out of water, your body begins to consume itself. Your blood thickens into a sludge, making every heartbeat a painful struggle. Hallucinations set in. Many sailors at this point make a fatal mistake. They drink seawater. The salinity of the ocean is 3.5%. The salinity of our blood is roughly 0.9%. To process that extra salt, your kidneys will demand even more water, pulling it from your brain cells and vital organs. You literally dry up from the inside, while your stomach is full of fluid. Poon Lim knew this. He collected rainwater using a canvas sheet, and when the rains failed, he became a predator. His food ran out after a couple of weeks. But Poon Lim didn't plan on dying. He remembered that he was a human, the top of the food chain. He had no hooks, so he took apart his flashlight. He pulled out the spring and bent it into a makeshift hook. He braided a line from canvas threads. He caught a fish. Then he caught a bird that had recklessly landed on the raft to rest. He drank their blood instead of water. Raw fish and bird meat aren't just protein. Their eyes, spines, and livers contain moisture and vital vitamins. This is exactly what saved him from scurvy, the dreaded disease of old-world sailors where teeth fall out and gums rot while you're still alive. But blood attracts company. Sharks began to circle the raft, and this is where Poon did something that borders on madness. He decided to catch a shark, a small one about a meter long. He used the bird remains as bait. When the shark clamped down, he hauled it onto the slippery raft and began bludgeoning it over the head with the metal biscuit tin. It was survival in its purest, most brutal form. Shark meat tastes horrific. They lack a urinary tract, so waste products are excreted through their skin. The meat reeks of ammonia, like a public restroom, but Poon Lim sliced it into strips and cured it in the sun. To him, it was a delicacy. Yet, perhaps the most painful part wasn't the hunger, it was the hope. He saw ships, 3 of them. Once, a freighter passed so close he could see the faces of the sailors. They saw him, and they kept sailing. A second time, a U.S. patrol plane even dropped a marker buoy for him, but a storm rolled in and he was lost again. Why didn't they save him? In the 40s, Q ships or trap ships were a reality. Enemies would use a lone man on a raft as bait. A ship's captain knew that if he stopped to rescue this man, he became a sitting duck for a U-boat waiting in ambush. It was the cold, hard math of war. One life versus the hundreds on board. On the 131st day, the water changed color. It turned a murky green. This meant land was near. The Amazon River was pushing its silt far out into the ocean. He was found by 3 Brazilian fishermen. Poon Lim didn't need to be carried. He stood up and walked toward them himself. Doctors were stunned. After 133 days adrift, he had lost only 9 kilograms. He was awarded the British Empire Medal by King George VI. He eventually moved to the United States, where he lived to the age of 72. His experience rewrote every manual on maritime survival. His ultimate advice was simple: never let the ocean think you have given up. You've been watching Still Here. We told this story so you would remember. A human is capable of the impossible as long as the light in their mind stays lit. Let us know in the comments which part of this story shocked you the most. And stay with us. We're still here. Would you like me to create a list of keywords or a video description for this script?